I've personally used the vast majority of these games in an adult English class or in situations where we're playing games or having discussions across language boundaries. The few of these items on the list that I haven't used in a classroom, I've at least played enough that I would feel comfortable using them in class. There are numerous other games that I'm sure work well in a classroom or a teaching setting, but this list is from my personal experience, so feel free to add your own suggestions or experiences in the comments below. I've divided this video into 5 rough levels of English proficiency: basic, high basic, intermediate, high intermediate, and advanced or conversational level, and will be presenting the list of games in this order as well. Many of these games may be introduced at one level with significant teacher preparation and modification required, then used at higher levels with different vocabulary cards incorporated or less teacher preparation required. In the description below, I've provided links to all the games mentioned, but many of them can be recreated with classroom-specific materials, as long as you know how to play the base games. I'll try to point out throughout the video when classroom supplies may replace game components for more integration with lesson-based vocabulary or concepts. Let's just get to the list, shall we? When first beginning the English language learning process, you'll typically start with learning some limited vocabulary, such as greetings and canned phrases. But soon after that, you'll start introducing basic vocabulary, like numbers and colors. For color practice, some children's games like Candyland are geared for color recognition for kids, but can also be used with great effect for color vocabulary practice with English language learners. Simply include the idea that you need to say the name of the color when you draw the card for your turn. Once vocabulary includes numbers, Uno makes a fabulous practice for colors and numbers, as each player says the name of the color and number as they place the card. Red 7, blue 7, blue 4, etc. To simplify things, leave out the skip and reverse cards the first time you play the game, but definitely leave in the wilds and the draw 2 cards, since they are cause for a lot of laughter. For more varied numbered practice, here are several more games that I'd recommend. In each of these games, when a student rolls a number or plays a card, have them say that number. If it's a game like Farkle, you can also have them add their score to their total and read that out loud as well. I've taught Farkle to people from more countries than any other game, I think, and it always goes over well. If you're playing with a large group, though, you'll want to have the final goal score be pretty low, so students don't get bored waiting on other players. Once students gain some vocabulary to work with, using a game like Spot It can give a great opportunity to use some of those new words and get them at the front of their mind for easier recall. Spot It is a game all about matching and word recognition, where 2 students each flip over a card, and the student who correctly shouts out the item that can be found on both cards wins those cards. Now, before you play, you'll want to present a few of these cards to the students to review the various icons on the cards, as many of them will be newer words. This game works especially well when you have a day when there isn't a large number of students in the class, since it can get a little loud. One of the more obvious games on the list of games to use in an English as a second language classroom is Scrabble. In higher basic level classes, letters can be used in an open pool, so students aren't limited to only the letters in their personal collection. These letter tiles can be used with or without the Scrabble board for spelling practice and vocabulary learning. In my personal opinion, Upwards is an even better version of that game, since letters are made to stack on top of each other. This can help reinforce rhyming words, or words with only 1 or 2 letters changed between them, like changing cat to hat, and then to chat, and then to chair. I spy. We've all played I Spy with My Little Eye when trying to entertain ourselves, but it also works well for English class. I would take my students outside the building, and we would just look around outside and try to find something. You don't have to use the I spy phrase if you'd rather practice more normal English. You can say, see something that is red. Then all the other students start shouting out red color things that they see. When someone gets it right, that student can take their turn being the person spying with their little eyes. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great